So if you would like to have a recording and slow me down and speed me up wherever you need to, or hear me over and over again, you are fine to do that when you do get a recording of this tomorrow. It takes till tomorrow to render the recording for you. But in order to get a copy of the recording, you have to comment in the question box, because that is where the information is being captured of who wants information here. All right. So thank you, Roxanne. Thank you, Roxanne or Roxanne. See, this is where I wish we could see each other, right? And I could hear you, because I would be asking all these questions over my first cup of coffee when I walk into the room. So I'd like for you to know that this website is where you can go if you want to see what other Google training your Google partner can bring to you. So take a look there, and you can request it from them, and they can request me if they need me back again, or they might want to teach some of this themselves as well. Now, if you are tweeting or posting, use the hashtag #GrowWithGoogle, because it lets everybody know how well you're doing in leveling up your skills. It also lets the Google team know that this is something that is very important and that you like, and it encourages them to do more like that. All right. And this is me right here. This is where you can find me on Twitter or Instagram. If you'll tag me, I'll retweet and repost anything that you're hashtagging out and tagging me on. All right. So let me see here. I see Sonia, Roxanne, Ben, Kelly, Brad. Beautiful, beautiful, everybody. I'm glad you're finding that question box. Again, do find it so you can get a copy of today's recording. Hello. Oh, I'm so glad it's a beautiful sunny day there in Arlington. We are now finally having beautiful sunny days. It was for a while yesterday. We were covered up with a lot of dust. And so I'm happy to see the sun come out and be able to see it. And then also I see Abby here in Columbus. Welcome, Abby. Jason, I see you here as well from Katie. I know Katie very well. My husband's family's from Edna, Texas. So I know Edna, Katie, Wharton, Louise, and my husband and I were actually married in Victoria, Texas. So I know the area very, very well. This is me. I am a Google trainer, and I've actually had the great opportunity to work with a lot of veterans and military connected families on how they can transition from military service, or they're even dealing with all the PCSing, all the moving that they have to do in the military and having to uproot and start a position again. So I help them with that transition and being able to job search and have the best ability to search. So let's dive in, right? I've spent a lot of time showing you around the platform, but we've got to get to all the information. Again, Isaac, I see you're here. Perfect. I'm so glad that you're here. So thank you, everybody, for finding that question box, because that's where I can hear you. Now, we know that doing a remote job search may be something that is new to you. You may have been put in that situation, all of us were, in March 2020, sometime during the course of the last couple of years, but you may have had something happen recently where you are thinking about job searching, or maybe you have to job search. Do you know? So the first couple of slides are just about giving yourself some grace, giving yourself some structure and routine, because I know how hard it can be to try to do everything from the beginning and to be able to do the heavy lifting from one thing to the next. And I'm going to encourage you highly here to organize your job search. A lot of times when we see something, we see an opportunity, we read it and we think, okay, I'm going to apply now. So we apply and we go searching for what was that phone number of that person? How can I connect and put them as a reference? What's their complete name, the complete spelling, or what's that address? And now we start looking at our experience, and now we start building our resume. All of this happening while time is clicking away. And the thing is that timing is everything. I was searching just a couple of weeks ago for an engineer. We were looking for one. As soon as I put that out on LinkedIn, we had 142 resumes, applications like that. And it was within the first 11 minutes. After that, even though the job was open for the next couple of weeks, we didn't even look past that. That was plenty for us to take a look at. So do know that timing is everything. And if you're going through that whole cycle of trying to get everything together, that sometimes can be the timing that you miss and kicks you out of the running. So today we're going to talk about how you can track your job search in Google Sheets. We're also going to talk about how you can find those opportunities right here within a Google search, how you can create a resume with Google Docs. Now we have an entire webinar about how you can improve your resume with practical strategies, but that's an entire webinar. So I'm not going to go into great detail here, but I'll touch on some of the things that are good best practices. And then how you can give a strong interview with Google Meet. Let me know in the question box if you've had to do a Zoom or a video camera interview at all. Let me know that, because I'd love to hear who has the experience doing that. And I do see you, What are some of the red flags? Oh, absolutely. We can talk about that too, Roxanne. Okay. Make sure that you do ask me that, because there are, you've got to be careful and vetting also. They're vetting you, but you also need to vet the company. And that is why I do encourage you to network well, because people will let you know whether or not a company is an actual company, and also do your research. LinkedIn is a great tool, especially for companies. When you're looking for employer brands, LinkedIn is the place to be, and look at their reviews, because they also have reviews just like businesses do. And we need to do our due diligence to double check that somebody is a valid employer, but also an employer that we'd want to work for, okay? And then also learn from anywhere. So let me know, some people have done remote searches and online interviews, have had with Zoom interviews. Some people are familiar with Zoom interviews. Anybody else have done an online interview? Love to hear it. Let me know in the question box. So as I said, the first thing that we're going to talk about is how you can track your job search in Google Sheets. So that's first, because as I said, I'm going to show you how you can organize this to make sure that you can take advantage of your timing. First things first, make sure you're signed into your Google account. This is really important because all the free tools that Google has to offer to you are in your Google account. Now, if you have a free personal Gmail account, you're ready to go. You have everything that you need and you have access to it as you see the animation happening in front of you through the app keypad. That little keypad there next to sign in is where you'll find everything, and I'll walk you through that in just a moment. If you don't have a Gmail account, not to worry. You can get a free Google account and it doesn't change your email at all. All you need to do is you'll go to this URL right here. You'll sign in, you'll use your current email address. It doesn't change it to Gmail. You'll create a password, and like any other password protected site online, this is what you'll use to log in, okay? Again, it's 100% free. So what you're going to do when you're already logged into your free personal Gmail, remember it's the free account, just like the free Google account is. You don't have to pay for the, or use the Workspace account. That's the paid account. This is the 100% free. Now you're going to go to that app keypad that I was telling you about a moment ago. It's at the top right-hand corner there. It does look like a phone keypad. All right, truly, we trainers, we call it the app waffle because it makes us think of waffles every time we see it, but it really is, its proper name is the app keypad. When you go there, then what you can do is open up Google Drive. And the reason I encourage you to open up Google Drive first is because the next question normally people have when they use any of the free Google tools is, where did it save? And they spend their time searching, and I'm telling you, it's saved in Google Drive. So that's where I like to start you at. So when you do finish something and you're looking for it, you can see it visually in front of you in Google Drive. Google Drive, you can store up to 15 gigs, which is a lot. And it's 100% free. You don't even have to have programs associated with it. But I like to do this because it's a great backup. I mentioned a moment ago, I live in West Texas. I'm in Midland, Texas. And in Midland, Texas, we get power surges. So there's nothing more frustrating than not saving something and having to recreate it. I love that the Google Drive is always saving. So now you're going to go to Google Sheets. Click New Google Sheets, and you'll see the animation giving you the chance to start a blank spreadsheet or utilize a template. There's a whole slew of templates. Again, they're 100% free. But in this instance, we're going to create a Google Sheet. So this Google Sheet, just to give you a hint too, Google Sheet works just like Excel. Google Slides works just like PowerPoint, and Google Docs works just like Word, and you don't need an additional license. So this is a spreadsheet. You'll see you're going to lay this out to prepare for your job search. And what you're seeing in front of you, let me make sure here that you can see it. In fact, I'm going to come off camera just so you can see it, all right? So as you take a look at the sheet in front of you, what you're seeing is each rectangle here is what's known as a cell. And cells are organized into rows. So rows are everything that's happening here horizontally. You'll see those are numbered. And then there are columns which have a letter. So every column has a letter, and you see the numbers there. Is everybody seeing that okay? Because I know that it can get super tiny, especially with captions running, and this is being broadcast too. So just let me know in the question box. But every row is a number, every column, that's the vertical, is a letter. So when you're looking specifically at a cell's address, remember these rectangles here are called cells, then you're looking at the column and the row number. So for example, this first one here where you see job position, it says that's job position, the cell address is A1. A being the column, 1 being the row. All right, so you're going to do that next Oh, perfect. You're able to zoom in. Great. I'm glad. Thank you, everybody, for giving me your feedback. So look how this is organized. You've got company, name after job position, salary or hourly rate, website URL. So this might be the website of the company. So you can do a little bit more research, and your notes from the research. Now, as you're organizing this, you'll see that you can start putting into that very top row, that row 1, anything that pertains that you want to capture about a job. Remember what I said earlier about timing is everything. I'm a big fan of what's known as the Kindergarten Discovery Center or Discovery Setup Learning Center, because I know that when you put things together, you become faster at doing it. It becomes something that you don't have to worry about switching gears every single time to get to the next task. So what you'll do, for example, is put all of this, your job search is here on this sheet. Just like in a Discovery Center, we might have the cooking center, the kitchen center all in one area, the reading center all in one area. We might have the art center all in one area. And that is really important, because whenever you want the kiddos to put everything away, you like everything to be right there organized, and this makes it simple for them. It saves time and energy, which you need to be able to conserve for your actual interview process. And you're doing this in organizing this right away. So you can see this happening in front of you. The next slide is actually going to show you that you can start formatting that job tracker any way you'd like. You can highlight that top area and you can color code it or bold it. So see how you've got the fill color there where it looks like a little paint bucket dropping down. You can choose the color if you'd like it to stand out a little bit more. And that really is helpful for you to highlight what your heading is and the information you need to capture from every job that you find. Okay, now how do you find those jobs? Okay, perfect, everybody. To thank you for letting me know that you can see that. One thing I want to show you really quickly too is you can see how that at the very top, sometimes you may not see that when you're scrolling, it gets stuck. So let me show you this in a live demo. Okay, oops, I need to make that a little bit bigger. I like to do this because it gives you some practical about going around the tool. I've got to make that a little bit bigger. Sorry, it's just too big on my other screen here. Hopefully we could do this. Let's do that. Play nice with us. All right. So if I'm in my free Gmail account, I can click on the app keypad. I can go to Google Drive. That's that triangle shaped icon. And then I'm going to click, that's tiny. I'm going to click new. And I'm going to click Google Sheets, hover over the arrow here and go to blank spreadsheet. See how it opens up another tab and it's always saving. I can title this Job Search Tracker. And then if I wanted to put job title here, remember what we said about the cell A1, and I want to highlight that in blue and I want it bold. But let's say I get down to cell number A37, I don't have my headings anymore. What I can do is come back up here, highlight the whole row, click File, Edit, File, Edit, and View. Those are the 3 tabs there. You're going to go to Freeze, and you're going to freeze that top row. So when I scroll, now it doesn't ever leave. So I always know what that heading is, okay? Just a little tip there as you're managing your job tracker sheet. Now, how can you find those opportunities? All right, any questions so far as we're going through? You know how to Google search. One way to do it is Google search. Just say jobs. A lot of times it's already picking up your actual location because of your internet signal, and it might already pick up the jobs near you, but you might need to type in jobs near me. And then the next thing that will happen is you'll see, of course, a search result, just like you'll see with any Google search, but you'll see the special result happening here. And the special result that's happening has a little blue top to it, a light blue and a darkish blue, and that is actually Google's job search tool. It's specific to jobs. It's pulling from a little over 3,000 different job sites every single day and updating that. And while I know you can become involved in every single job site, I like this because just in case I've missed something, I can see what the opportunities are here, and I have that opportunity for myself to make a decision if that's a good thing for me, if I want to have an interest in that. Now, what you can also do when you're job searching, and I'll show you this in a moment, is you can start putting into an actual Google search term anything that you're looking for. Are you looking for a full-time job, a part-time job, or a remote job, you can add all of those in. And you're seeing that happening, that it's looking for those jobs near me. And you see what it looks like when you actually click on the Google tool, which is the job search tool. Okay, I'll show you that live in just a moment, as long as the internet plays friendly. Now, when you're in the job search tool, you'll see that you have options to apply. Maybe you want to apply on a certain, so there's a certain location like Indeed, or you're applying on LinkedIn. The salary information is also right here when you find that position. The job type, is it permanent? Is it remote? Is it something that's going to start right away? So you'll see that start date too. Now, finding this is something that you again will do within Google search. And now you can also filter at the very top exactly what you need. For example, let's say you want to look by title. You're looking for becoming a marketing manager. Maybe you are looking by actual full-time, or the different requirements that it has. Maybe you're looking, like here we're seeing sales representative. So we can take a look at it. Maybe you're going to filter by location as well. Is it near you, or is it another city that you're planning to move to? What's next is you can also decide to work from home. There is a section there for remote work, and you can find out whether those are full-time or part-time positions. You can see if it's 100% remote, or they are looking for you to come to the office maybe every quarter, and you can start making decisions from that too. So you could filter whatever it is the job that you're looking for. Again, this starts with a Google search. So you're here at a Google search. Let's say you don't have a degree, and you're looking for a job with a degree. So you can start searching, or without having to have a degree. So you're searching here for no degree jobs next to you, and you'll go here even when you're in the job search, and you can even say here that you are looking for the no degree filter, and you can filter those jobs saying that you do not have a degree, but you only want Google to give you the results that are looking for and don't have the requirements of no degree. The next thing you can do, let's say you're a veteran, all right? So you want to look for your veteran jobs near you. Specifically, somebody's looking for someone who's had military service. Now, what's really nice is when you are in the job search tool. Remember that I told you that's denoted by that blue at the very top. The blue job search tool actually has the ability that you can put your MOS code. For those in the military, you know that's your military occupational specialty code. Every job in the military. Now, my dad served for 27 years, and every single position that he had an MOS code actually associated with it that lets you know the type of work and experience that they have. And what's nice for the military is you can just put your code here, and it'll immediately bring up the jobs that match your code. So you don't have to do any further filtering than that. Now, when you are in the job search tool, let's say you're searching and you don't have time to do or to be able to act on it right away, you can save it. So you'll see the little bookmark here, just like you're used to seeing in bookmarking in your browser. Now you can save it. You can also, that's the share link there with the 3 dots connected. That's if you want to share the link with somebody. You can click on this share link and actually put that link in your job search tracker. So now you can go right to this particular position when you're ready to apply. So remember what I said about organizing things together? Like you're putting all the things and grouping things that you're doing similar. First, you're job searching. So you're going to put all of this in the tracker. The next thing you're going to do is start researching. And then the next thing is to apply. But you don't have to worry about switching every single time. Let's say I'm in job search mode. So I'm job searching right now. Put everything down into the tracker. Well, I'm done with that. Now I'm going to take action. All right, great. I'm going to look at the job search tracker. I'm going to do a little bit of research, highlight the ones that I do want to apply to. All right, now I'm going to bring up my Google Doc where I did my brain dump of every single experience I've had so I can apply. I know exactly my experiences. I have the time, so I don't have to worry, was it August or October when I started? I have everything there. I have all the contact information. I have all my references. All I have to do is copy and paste, because at one time I sat and did a brain dump and put all of my work experience on one doc. This is not what I share with everybody. I copy and paste from that what I need to do to apply. So if they say go 2 years back, now I can go 2 years back. And then when I'm doing my resume, I understand and know that my resume is the highlight reel. It's not my biography of my job experience. It's my highlight reel. Make sense? So again, let's go back to this. I'll take my face off of there so you can see that you can save the job to apply later. And then also you can turn on email alerts. let's say you don't have time to be searching all day long, but you do want to know when a customer service position is available or whatever filters you've put up here. So now you can manage those alerts and turn that on, and you could be sent an email either immediately, or you could decide at the end of the day, every day, or once a week. But I will tell you, when you're job searching, timing is everything. So you might consider turning those on every single day. When you do that, what it looks like in your inbox, let me go to the live demo here, is here. All right, it looks like 1 new job for sales near me, 10 new jobs for sales near me. And if I click on this, you'll see that blue search box right there, and I can go straight to these representative, and it will bring up another tab, and now it brings up the job alert that I received. So I go straight to it. I don't have to worry about searching anymore. Make sense to everybody? Let me know in the question box that this is all good and that you're feeling comfortable getting to know your way around the Google job search tool. All right, thank you, B. Now, remember what I said about using that spreadsheet. So I'm going to keep myself off camera for a moment because I know sometimes it's hard to see this small spreadsheet. But do you see here? You can start putting what the job is, the company. You can start tracking that. So that's task 1. Do an in-depth job search, maybe the first 30 minutes of the day. You're going to just go dive into it, or whenever you feel most productive and you're able to do that. But now you're doing that. Now, to help you also stay organized, you need to create a resume. But let me make sure I've gone through any questions that people have real quick. So I'm looking here. Everybody seems good? Okay. Let me make sure we can find that too. Yes, somebody, I do see your question there. Let me bring that up real quick. So how do you find the job search? Remember, we're going to Google. Oops, I put my fingers on the right key. All right. Remember, in Google search, we're going to say jobs, and see how it comes up near me. I'm in Midland, Texas, and so I'm just going to say jobs near me. When I'm doing a Google search, let me make that a lot bigger, guys. So you'll see all of this come up, but see that blue, that light blue? You see that there? So it goes straight to that job search box. That's where I'll find all the information, where Google is actually pulling in all the searches from all the different sites that it's connected to. Now that I'm looking at this, maybe I want to look a little bit further. So all I need to do is click anywhere here on the blue and see how it takes me directly to that job search tool. Now I'm completely in that job search tool, and I can decide I want something that is within 5 miles of me. I want to, or maybe it doesn't matter, I want to work from home, so I want to see what's available here from home. And it'll let me know. This was actually posted 14 hours ago, and where it was posted from LinkedIn. This was 11 hours from LinkedIn. This was 2 days ago from Glassdoor. This was 24 hours ago. And to turn on those alerts, I just needed to turn that on. And as I showed you a moment ago, that's what it looks like when these alerts show up in your inbox. Make sense to everybody? Oh, good, good. I'm glad this is helpful. So let's talk about your resume now. All right, so the next thing you can do, because again, in the free Google tool, you can go to Google Docs in your free Google account. So you can do that from Gmail or from your free Google account. Let me bring that up too. So, because I know right here you're seeing this, but I want you to see exactly where you find this. So I'm in Gmail, remember app keypad, and we're gonna go to Google Drive. And when I'm in Google Drive, what you'll do is click New, Google Docs, hover over that, and you're gonna bring up a template in this instance because we're looking at a resume. So click on template, see how it populates with all the different templates that are available. Again, 100% free. Let's say you like the Swiss resume. That's the design that you like for a resume that you'd like to format. Click on that. This is the template gallery. When it does that, it's thinking, it's not ruining the template gallery, it's actually pulling it into your Google Drive and automatically saving it. So now I can say, this is Maria's marketing manager resume, because I'm going to have lots of different versions of my resume. That's the best practice, is to customize your resume to the actual job description. So when employers see you, they think, wow, they match, tell me more. Understand the job of the resume is not to get you a job. No resume will ever get you a job. The resume's job is to get you the appointment where they want to know, tell me more. It's to get the phone call, the video interview. So once it's here, now this is actually within your Google Drive. You saved it and you can make a copy of it. So let's say this is my marketing manager resume, but I want the next one to be my sales representative resume. Okay, so I could do that too. Click OK, and you'll see it come up in another tab. And now it's saved that, and I can customize this one for marketing director and this one for sales rep. And what I can do then is when I'm in my job search tracker, let's say I'm going for the job with the ABC company as a sales rep. And so I don't want to use my marketing resume. I can go here to share. I can get a link, and I want anybody to be able to see this link so they can view it. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to go back here to my spreadsheet, and I'm just going to drop that there. So what I did was I did Control C to copy it, or you can also right click to copy it, and then Control V to paste it here. Okay. I can also decide if I don't want it to go all the way across, I can go here to Format, whether or not this text overflows over all the cells or wraps into one cell, and I can decide wrap if I want to keep that together. Make sense? If you're not familiar with spreadsheets, not to worry, you don't have to be that familiar. Watch this a couple of times and practice and play yourself. Remember, it's free to be in there, and you can save as many Google Sheets as you like till you feel comfortable, or reach out to your Google partner who invited you, okay? So when we go to Docs, remember what I said, you're gonna go into your Google Drive, you're gonna click on New, and you'll choose those Google Docs. So everything that you're seeing in the animation here is what I just showed you. All right. Oh, you're very welcome, B. I'm so glad it's helpful to you. So when you're using your free resume format that you choose, right? You choose it. Now you're going to customize it. You might want to put your name here, like Adira is putting her name. You might not like the pink color. Maybe you want to change that as well, so you can highlight over that. Perhaps you don't like the font. You'll see that the navigation at the very top is very similar to Word. You have the chance to have normal text. In fact, I can show you that more live here. Sorry, I try to keep picking that up, but you can decide, let me go to Google, the resume, and you can decide the text font here. You can decide the size of the font. You can decide the color of the font. I want that to be blue. You can decide whether or not you want to keep each section or delete each section. So you have all that opportunity here to make it as unique as you are, all right? And now the next thing that you can do is, oops, I just realized I still have my camera on. Let me turn that off so you can see this better. You can format that text. You can start flowing in your actual job experience. Remember what I said, do a brain dump on one of these docs and just put all of your experience there. Everything from your work experience, your volunteer experience, and then even anything that you did maybe even part-time or as part of supporting a group, like you were working with the parent-teacher organization. All of that is still you in a role, whether or not you're getting paid for it. So make sure you brain dump all those experiences. And when you get to this point now, you're just copying and pasting what makes sense and works for this particular job. You can also do what's known as insert comments. So let's say you're sharing this with Mary at the Estacasita branch, right? Or Jolene at the Ada Public Library. You're sharing this with them. You'd like their input of this, whether this looks good or not. You can do what's known as a comment. So you would highlight over the text. Immediately to the right, you'll see a comment box pop up. And now you can ask, Mary, does this sound right here, or are these dates wrong? Or you could say, have I written this correctly, or does that not seem really clear? And you can ask for input from somebody when you're sharing the document with them. No longer do you have to worry about who has what version. Did you have it when she sent it out on Monday, or do you have this? You all have the latest version right here with comments and tracking. And you can always go back. You never lose anything in Google Drive because it's always saving. So you can go always back to different versions of things if you lost track of it, okay? So you have the chance to share it with other people. And you can also copy, like I showed you a moment ago, so you can fine tune it exactly for that position. For example, in marketing, there's marketing director, or it could be a marketing research analyst. So it's going to be a little bit different from a marketing director who's leading a team to an analyst who's really focused in focus groups and communication with customers and doing research actually on the product or even the market, compared to a sales representative who might be truly out there working with the customers, making sure their orders correct and connecting them with manufacturing. The skill sets are a little bit different. And so a resume for each is going to be different. Now you can share that resume, like I said, to get feedback. What you're seeing in front of you is how to share that. You saw me do that quickly a moment ago when I put the link in the Google Sheet, but this animation here really walks you through. You can put their email address in there and you can customize whether or not you want them to comment back, whether you want them to just view it, or you'd like them to be able to change it and edit it. So you could decide by person, so you don't even have to use just the link. By person, you can send this out and it will email it to them, and when they click on it, it goes straight to that exact doc. They don't have to do any searching. They're only going to see this doc, and they're not going to see your Google Drive. And remember what I said, Google Docs works just like Word. So what you can do is you can copy that link like I showed you real quickly a moment ago, and you can find on your spreadsheet exactly where that job is, and you can know which resume you used for that job. So it's right there. So when they call you for the interview, you're not wondering which resume did I show you? Which one did I talk to you about? Which experiences did I highlight? Remember, highlight reel, not biography. Your resume is your highlight reel, okay? Any questions before we leave this area? Helpful so far to everybody? Something new that you've discovered at all? Something you didn't even know was there? Let me know. Okay, I'd love to see. Now, next we're going to be talking about how you can give a strong interview with Google Meet. How many of you are familiar with Google Meet? Let me know. Show of let me knows in the question box, right? I keep saying hands, but you can show me your hands by making a comment in the question box. Oh yes, lots of different resume templates. I could just go on and on scrolling down there. You even have cover letters in their templates. You can agendas, you can take notes there as well. I also like Google, I'm not sure in this presentation if you'll see it, but Google Slides. Let me bring this up real here, quickly here. Boy, I tried to say that too quickly. If you go here, play around in here, do a little investigating. One of the things you can use is Google Slides. This works like PowerPoint. You have a whole template gallery here. So if somebody wants to see a portfolio of your work, let's say you're a graphic designer, and you want to show them your work. So you're going to go here to the template gallery. Sorry, let me go to the template gallery. You can also get there by going here, new, Google Slides, hover over from a template. When you see the template gallery come up, now you can do things like choose a template to showcase your work, your portfolio, your pitch. So let's see, you could have the pitch here, and it populates everything in there that you need, and now you can customize whether or not you want to use that theme, or maybe you like the darker theme better. You want to remove this, you don't like that anymore, so you want to delete that slide. Maybe you want to change out the text, you can do all of that. So plan to spend some time actually investigating what you have available to you in your free Google accounts, okay? Now, how you can give a strong interview. Understand you can interview on Zoom, you can interview on Google Meet. The two work almost the same. So if you've not used Google Meet, it is again free in your personal Gmail or your personal Google account. But this is what it looks like. So it looks very similar to a Zoom call, except for the menu is at the very bottom here. Sometimes with the Google or the Zoom calls, they're at the very top. But here you can see the little microphone to make sure you're muted or your mic is hot and on. You can see the little phone hanging up there, which means you're leaving the call. You can ask a question, you can turn your video on or off, turn on closed captions, you can present as well. But here you're going to be having an interview, and what you need to keep in mind is that people are looking, especially business owners, decision makers, recruiters, they're looking for the person that's going to fit best into the position. You need to look like you work there, you fit. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a three-piece suit if the position is not for a three-piece suit, but you do need to look and dress like you fit there. For example, if I showed up at Google in my suit, that wouldn't work. Now, if I showed up with my Grow with Google shirt, a blazer on it, and a pair of jeans, I'm good to go. I look like I fit there. So look, when you are interviewing, become very familiar with your camera and the tools that you use, your microphone. Know what turns it on and off. Nothing worse than a recruiter or somebody who's a decision maker waiting for you to figure out how to turn your mic, mute off and mute on, okay? They want to see that you're ready and you're familiar with this. And look at the camera. Get familiar with this. A lot of times when people are looking at the screen below, this is what the interviewer is seeing, is they're just seeing this and they're not seeing eye contact. And here in the United States, eye contact still is super valuable in creating credibility and authenticity. So you do need to make eye contact with the camera. Know where your camera lens is. Right now, I'm looking at you. I know where my camera lens is. But this camera, my biggest pet peeve about it, it's got this light that shines in my eye and it directs my eye to take a look at it. It's not so big, but it is tiny enough that it's distracting. So if I look at the actual light, you see how I'm not looking at you? Now I'm looking at the light. But when I look at the lens, I am looking at you. So no, you do need to speak clearly and slowly. Take deep breaths, everybody, before you get into an actual interview, because your mind and your heart is going to be racing, and you do need to slow that down and sound confident when you are speaking clearly. Pay attention to the lighting. I happen to be working remotely, so I am in a little dark corner of my office, and I don't have the benefit of natural light. So right now I've got a couple of lume cubes actually pointing at me, and that's making sure we get good visibility. What I do love about Google Meet and Zoom, both of them have filters, so you can filter out the back. You can even enhance your look. So you have chances to make it the best visual experience that you want, where you feel comfortable. Look at that background though. We've all been on calls where we've seen the spouse or significant other come out in a towel, kids run on by, or why is the bed behind you unmade? We've all had that experience in the last few years. So look behind you. Make sure it is something that is on brand for you, and that it is something that you're okay with a recruiter seeing back there or an interviewer. Dress like you are in that position, and then of course practice. That's why I do encourage you to use Google Meet. It's free. You don't have to worry about paying for anything, and you can utilize that and practice so you feel really comfortable in finding that camera and looking straight at the camera and giving great confident eye contact. Make sense? So no Google Meet experience. Let me show you where you can find that again. I won't turn it on because I am broadcasting, but let me bring it up here. I'm going to close these Google Sheets out so I'm not dragging our bandwidth here. But how you can get to your actual Google Meet is right here. See on the left-hand side where you navigate everything within Google? So you can go here to join a meeting or a new meeting. So you can start a new meeting. I'm not going to click because that will knock you guys out. All right, I don't want to bring up another camera. Or let's say you're in your Google account. This is in Gmail. So if you look at that left-hand side, that's where you can navigate everything, and you can use Meet 100% free. Now, let's say you're in your Google account. I'm going to bring that up so you see that. You don't want a Gmail account. You have email that you're perfectly happy with, and you don't need that. So this is what it'll look like when you set up your free Google account. You'll click here on the app keypad, and you're going to look for this little primary color camera. That's Meet, and that's how you're going to start a Meet, okay? So when you do this, it won't start it immediately, so not to worry, you can play around. It'll say that you can put a new meeting, or maybe somebody invited you to a meeting, and it will let you decide, whether or not you've got the right camera, whether or not you want to filter out your background, you want to put a nice fun background there, make it look like you're on a beach. Not recommended for a job interview, but you can make choices like that when you're playing and becoming familiar with it. So do practice at that. Make sense to everybody? All right, so I've showed you how to utilize Google Sheets and where you can find a blank spreadsheet to start with, but I will show you this. Okay, let's say we're working with our free Google account. We click New, and we go to Drive, because I always start with Drive, so you know where to find it, and this is where Drive has everything, and you can organize that any way you'd like. You can right-click there and create folders, or you can click New and create folders here. But when you look at Google Sheets does have a template as well. So it has a template gallery, and it could be a monthly budget. A friend of mine was married last year, and she used the wedding planner here to be able to plan with it. Some businesses, small businesses, actually use this to do their payroll. And a lot of people will use it for expense reports. So again, these are all free, already laid out with the great formulas there. So encourage you to take a look at that app keypad and see what's available to you. Of course, I showed you how to Google search. Now you can go into Google search, you can take a look and save or send an alert to make sure you're right away getting all of the alerts and the ability to apply as soon as you can. You have the ability now to use docs to create as many resumes that you'd like, to customize those to whatever position, and you can use Meet. You don't have to worry about scrambling to get a Zoom subscription or anything if somebody wants to meet with you or you just like to practice being able to look directly at that camera. So this is your checklist and your to-do list. Now, to get a copy of today's slides, do make sure that you do make a comment here. So you're going to get a recording when this is rendered. Remember, it will be tomorrow before it's rendered. So I want to let you know that. I don't know what time tomorrow, but it will be tomorrow. It just takes time for the video to render. And you'll also get a copy of the slides, which I encourage people to use just like this checklist. That's something that you can go through. What's nice is all of those animations that I was showing you how to find the keypad and everything is built into the slides. So if you're able to utilize that in your desktop or PowerPoint, or you go to the library to do that, or you upload it into your Google Drive, this will actually convert to a Google Slides, and you can use it there in Google Slides, and you'll see all the animation happening, so it can show you that. Plus you'll have the recording, and you can review any piece that you'd like to till you feel comfortable and fast to be able to take advantage of using the tool in the practice. Okay? Now you can also learn from anywhere. You can take this to the next level. This was just an introduction on how you can power your job search using Google tools, but you can learn from everywhere and anywhere. Let's say that you really want to get better at learning Google Sheets and spreadsheets to, let's say, do a budget or to do payroll. So you could go here to this URL, apply digital skills, until you get a copy of today's slides. I'll back out of there my little a little pointer so you can take a screenshot, because you might want to look here, and these are workbooks and videos that will show you how to write the formulas. I mean, it'll take you all the way through it, and it's 100% free. Now, if you want a certificate, let's say you need it for a job that you're applying to, or you want it in your personnel file, so you want to be certified that you absolutely know your ins and outs of using a spreadsheet, then you can get certified, but there is a cost to that. I believe it's $79 to get certified. So that's just for the certification test, but you can do everything else up until the certification and still have all of that good skill and knowledge and teaching, okay? Another tool that you can use is Google Primer. This is an app. You will download this from either the iOS store, so that's the App Store for iPhone, or the Google Play Store. You'll load that onto your phone. Once you have downloaded it, you no longer need internet connection. And what will happen next then is you can look through there. In the app, there are lesson plans like how to be able to set up working remotely from home. What's the best way to organize your workspace to maximize your production, but also to give you the most professional appearance whenever you have to jump onto camera. All of this is here, plus there's all sorts of other things like how to work with Google Docs, how to create a resume. There's so many lesson plans here, and it's always giving you new updates on things that are available that you can walk through and do at your own pace. So at your own space and your own pace, okay? Another thing that I do want to let you know about before we finish up is Google's career certificates, because this started in March 2020. Of course, the whole business environment was changing, and we found that there was a need for people to have actual formal certifications for, let's say, IT support, maybe UX design, so that's designing a website for a great user experience on desktop and mobile. Maybe you need a certification in project management or in data analytics, or maybe even to develop apps for Android, because we know people are utilizing apps. That's just increasing. What you can do here is you can learn at your own pace, getting a Google Career Certificate. Now, so you know, this is something that's free for the first 7 to 14 days. It's $39 a month. That's not Google's fee. Coursera charges us that. Coursera charges that to show that you've done the work and to be able to verify the certification afterwards. But what's nice, most certifications take about 6 months to complete. Sometimes organizations, local organizations, will find sponsors to be able to cover your costs to do that. So do touch base with your Google partner to see if they're able to do that for you, or know who in the community could support you in that way. But even if you finish it in 1 month, so I was working with a web designer, he really knew his stuff. He finished it in 1 month, so it was $39. He finished it, but on average, it's about 6 months. And now you enter into a pool of a little over 250 employers, including Google, who are hiring. This is what we use for our active database of people to hire into the Google team, whether you're working remotely or working at one of the Google offices, as well as 250 and growing, because we're always bringing in new partners to use this database of people who are already certified and ready to work immediately. Okay? So make sure you screenshot that if that's of interest to you. And if you need any assistance or more information, reach out to your Google partner. Again, this is the website here that you would go to if you want to know any of the topics that Google has available to teach you, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a student, whether you're a job seeker, a veteran, maybe you like to learn how to code, maybe you have a small business too. All of these tools are here. Reach out to the Google partner who invited you, because they can let you know how to access these tools or whether they need to bring in a trainer, and they will do it for you. They've already proven it, right? Here I am providing this to you because that was something that you told them you were interested in. Now, before we leave, this is the money shot. So if you've caught nothing else, this is every single link and website that I told you about in the entire presentation. Make sure you screenshot this, but if you do want a copy of today's slides and the recording, make sure that you make a comment there in the question box. And now I am going to go to the question box while people are screenshotting this. I hope my face isn't in the way. If it is, I'll turn off my camera so I won't be in the way. But let me see here. How do we find a Google partner in our community? Sure, let me tell you, it might be whoever invited you here. So do know that today it was Goodwill Industries of Fort Worth, Goodwill Industries of Kansas, the Atascocita branch of the Harris County Public Library there in Humble. There's also the Ada Public Library too here. Silver with the IT experience is always here. She's always ready and able to help you. And then Samantha with the Bay City Public Library is here. So if you're close to any of those locations, that's your Google partner. But if you're not sure, then let us know, reach out to us, and we can connect you with your local Google organization and partner. Or you can also Google it too. You're looking for a Google community organization. Do you understand there are Google partners like marketing agencies, and these are Google community partners, okay? So that's what you're looking for. I hope that's helpful to you. All right. Happy Thursday, Sonia. Happy Thursday. I'm so glad this was helpful to you. Anything that I can review again, slow down a little bit more, anything that you have questions of. I know there were lots of questions at the very beginning about how do you check whether or not an opportunity is a scam. I do encourage you to do your research. Like I said at the beginning, research, get on LinkedIn, look at company research as well. What I like to do in LinkedIn, and this is a little tip because I'm somebody who's helped job seekers, I mean, at the very beginning, gosh, when I first started my career after I got out of corporate America, I was actually working with people who were laid off. And so a lot of them have never had to do an application or a resume. And I was able to teach them how to do that. And I'll tell you one of the tools within LinkedIn, this was before LinkedIn, I'm dating myself now, but since LinkedIn, I've been able to teach them, you do want to be in LinkedIn and put a network together, because what will happen is, let's say you get a job, you're looking at an opportunity at ABC Company. You can go in there and put in ABC Company, and it will let you know everybody that you're connected to, either at first level, meaning you're connected to them immediately. They ask to network with you, they ask to connect. I'll be able to see your entire profile, you'll see mine. So for whatever reason you connected with them, that's first level. Second level means they're a friend of somebody or a connection of somebody that you connected with. And third level means they're a friend of a friend or a connection of a connection. But it still can let me know of, oh, now I know 5 people, 2 at first level, and 2 other people at the second level, and 1 at the third level that know about ABC Company. Maybe I can reach out to them and say, so tell me a little bit more about ABC Company. Or it could be I have that moment and say, oh my gosh, I had no idea that's where Julia worked. Sometimes people are friends and we don't even know what they do for a living, right? All right, absolutely, Ibrahim. You will get a copy of today's slides. As I said, it will be tomorrow. Just give me time, because the platform renders these videos, and we want the platform to, I like to give it time, especially when it's a busy webinar day. In fact, saying that, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording.